right, what's up, Collider TV Talk fans? Josh McCouga here, back with Thadd Williams, the man, the myth, the legend. Thank you, first of all, before we get into anything, thank you so much last week for all the kind tweets, all the just the love across the board for our first episode of Collider TV Talk back. Thadd and I are back again. This is a run and shoot offense right now. We're figuring out how to get some guests in here. It's Sinead wants to come in, Emma wants to come in, but Thadd and I are going to get our feet first, and then we're going to start bringing in guests. A lot of TV news to get to.
Yeah.
Thank you again. Tweet at us hashtag at Collider TV Talk as always. We're going to take some Twitter questions at the end here. We've got a jam-packed show, tons of things going on. We're going to talk a little bit about Jack Ryan. Last week we semi-spoiled a little bit of
Sharp Objects.
Thank you.
And
Sharp
by semi-spoiled, we gave away the entire ending. So apologies to that. I was reprimanded the next day.
There was spoiled eggs everywhere.
It's an audio thing now, and people can't see the spoiler alert thing that I'm doing with my hand when I say it. You can't see that right now if you're listening.
But this will be a spoiler-free episode of Collider TV Talk. We will start doing some spoiler stuff, but maybe in separate videos.
Yeah, it'll be by itself.
Separate stuff.
Yeah, it'll be by itself.
I'm waiting on Thadd to finish Jack Ryan so we can do a spoiler review of it.
I watched the pilot.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten through the whole series yet. I've been catching up on some other shows.
We'll get to that. We're also going to do a spoiler of Ozark, which I thought was fantastic. We're going to talk all about that. This Henry Cavill's The Witcher stuff. We're gonna do a little segment on here that we're just gonna call "What's Worth Your Time," sifting through the streaming landscape. Try to give you guys a heads up on things you should and shouldn't watch on Netflix, Hulu, whatever the case may be, Amazon, that kind of stuff. We have a huge Sunday night coming this Sunday, mostly on Showtime and HBO. So a lot to get to. Let's start with this Henry Cavill as The Witcher, mostly because I feel like we get so many people saying we should do this video game as a movie. We should do this video game as a movie. And I got to tell you, this past weekend, I was hanging out with my sister-in-law and her boyfriend. They're big gamers. And they were asking me about The Witcher. Do you know anything about The Witcher? And I know for a fact that this was one of those projects that Joe Manganiello wanted to do years ago.
Oh, I can see that. I can see that.
We talked about it when he came in to promo that documentary he did called Le Bear about the strip club in Dallas that was the male review that was amazing. It was really well done.
Yeah.
And we were talking about things that he wanted to do. He's a huge Dark Crystal kind of fan, and The Witcher is right up his alley. Now he's got this Death Saves brand and everything, but The Witcher is going to go with Henry Cavill, which
I can see it.
What I think is probably that means no Superman for a while.
That's
right?
That's a very good point, actually. It probably doesn't mean any Superman for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know what the DC universe is doing these days. They seem to be all over the place.
Sure.
The one thing that they are doing is they are saying, fuck Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying it very loud and clear.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as Superman goes, I don't know what they're going to do. So I think him moving to Netflix is very interesting. I know some people here in the office have been wondering why he's using his big movie star clout, especially after Mission Impossible, to then transition into a Netflix show.
Yeah.
And
especially a video game show, which is really
it's tough.
Hard to do.
It's very hard to do. But I think people questioned Game of Thrones when HBO was starting that project too.
That's not a video game.
No, but it was a book series.
And
it was
Witcher's
fantasy.
a book series too.
It's a big fantasy, thing. Granted, Game of Thrones was the first of its kind.
Sure.
And now everyone's trying to get into it and do it fast. Amazon's grabbed up
Who's
Lord
the
of the
next
Rings.
Beatles? Who's the next Beatles?
Yeah. They're gonna keep trying to pull a lot of different IP until they find the right one.
Right.
I think that this one makes sense enough. And,
there's
I'm sure
there's a ton of IP.
Probably an audience for it.
Sure.
I would think.
Yeah, The Witcher games do really, really well.
Yeah.
Again, not to re-reference but I was picking their brain about it because I don't know much about The Witcher.
Yeah.
But it sounds very interesting, and it almost sounds like almost a better Van Helsing. Remember those Hugh Jackman movies when he was Van Helsing?
Yes.
And the girl was, is it Kate Beckinsale? Was she the girl that was in those movies with him? Anyways, it kind of sounds like it. And I've always...
It was Kate Beckinsale.
Was it? There you go.
Yeah. Ding, ding.
I've always been a fan of a Vampire Hunter kind of a show. And I always thought doing a live action Castlevania. I know they came out with the animated one,
right.
But I have little patience for the anime kind of stuff. So I know it's
okay.
It's a fault. It is what it is.
Hey.
But I always thought a live action Castlevania would be awesome.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're doing this Pretty cool. And Henry Cavill, man, he's got range.
He's
Great in Mission Impossible.
He was great in Mission Impossible. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. is what sold him for me.
Man, is that a great movie.
Because I forget all the DC hate. I know I'm going to get some. I didn't think he was that good of an actor after only seeing him in Man of Steel. I hadn't seen him in anything else.
I don't disagree. It's hard.
And Superman is a very one-note character,
100%.
so it's very easy to just place their blame and say that doesn't have a range because Superman's just kind of standing there being stoic.
You know what it is, though? When he comes out of the ocean and he's so jacked, I can't imagine that version of Clark Kent goes into an office and women don't throw themselves at him.
I can speak from experience. They don't throw themselves at me. I mean, I walk in, I've got the same 8-pack that he does. And I'm walking in and everyone's like, ladies, what's up? Nobody does anything.
It's been years, and I've been saying this all along. It's amazing that that you even walk into this place and it just isn't rained upon you. It's insanity.
It's a blessing and a curse.
It's you and Henry Cavill, really. It's the the tier of Hollywood at this point.
But anyways, But then I saw Man from U.N.C.L.E. and
that movie is criminally underrated.
If you haven't, I know this is TV talk, but if you haven't seen Man from U.N.C.L.E., go find it on a TV streaming platform and watch it right now. It's a great movie.
It would make a great series too.
It's it was based on a TV show from the 50s or 60s.
Okay, that's what I mean.
Yeah, it was based on a Cold War TV show.
There you go.
And it's easily my favorite Guy Ritchie movie since the Lock, Stock days.
Yeah.
So, I recommend that highly. And ever since then, I'm like, Henry Cavill is a really good actor. He's got a great range. He needs to be in more stuff.
Yeah.
So,
and he showed he was a badass, not only as a superhero.
Him leading this show is a good idea.
Yeah, and him being a badass, not as a superhero, as in Mission Impossible, sells me on The Witcher. And I've been saying it since day one of TV Talk that a lot of these video game movies would be much better serviced as a TV series.
Without a doubt.
Correct. Okay, I know that I'm the only, so this will be quick. I know I'm the only one that's watching The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
But here's the cool thing, and again, it's something I've been saying for the last 2 or 3 years about Walking Dead. Do a time jump. Do a time jump.
Yeah.
And it looks like what they're doing because everybody looks very different from when we saw them last season because most of everything as Walking Dead's been, it ends and then it keeps going that same episode a season later.
Yeah, there's a cliffhanger at the end of every season and then you find out who gets hit with the bat.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I like that they're making a time jump. I think that it looks kind of cool. To be honest with you, if we're talking about pictures from when they send these first images kind of things, the last couple seasons, this gets me more excited than any of the last 3. So, that being said, we can move on.
All right, fair enough.
You haven't watched it forever.
No, I gave up. I think in season 5, I watched when they split everyone up and they were walking down the train tracks.
The Terminus season.
Yeah. And then I kind of fell off. I think
makes sense.
Yeah,
makes sense. This Doom Patrol keeps getting some pretty damn good cast.
They are throwing big names.
Brendan
in that
Fraser,
show.
now Timothy Dalton. I don't know if I care about this DC Universe streaming platform, but I mean, the way they're casting this show, it gets me kind of interested.
Yeah, it's interesting to me too. Is this going to be? Is Doom Patrol part of like the Berlanti thing, or is this?
I don't think it's going to be part of the universe per se because it's only on the streaming platform.
Gotcha, but is it the same production team?
Producing it? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is interesting. I mean, they definitely have a lot of heavy hitters.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
I don't know a ton about the IP.
I don't know really any of these characters that well.
Mm-hmm.
Cyborg is in it.
Yeah.
So yet again, another character from the movie universe that's having a separate timeline kind of happening in the TV universe.
Yep.
But the DC streaming platform, I think it's an interesting concept. I think they unlike a lot of the other streaming platforms that you and I have been a part of, I think this one has the most IP to really get people excited about paying to see it.
It is but you got to be a DC. You've
got to be a comic fan. But if you're in that niche, like between the TV shows that they're doing, they've got and the fact that they're coming out of the gate with TV shows.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the other platforms that didn't make it were like, in like a year and a half, you're going to get this really cool show that we're in the works for, and it never materializes. Right. This one, like they're hitting it hard and fast.
Kind of like what CBS did with Star Trek and The Good Wife.
The Good Fight.
The Good Fight.
The Good Fight.
Good Fight.
And then now they have $1, which I'm hearing some stuff about, and the Patrick Stewart show, and they're expanding quickly.
Yeah.
And this, I mean, and on top of the original shows, like scripted shows they also have the Universe Daily Show that a lot of friends of ours are on.
Yep.
So if you're into that world,
It's kind of perfect.
Yeah, I mean, like if it, and a comic fan, it makes sense. Like if you're reading new comics every week, to have everything kind of all in one, you're already training your brain to open up the app and walk through it on a weekly basis.
I agree.
So I think they definitely have a leg up over some of the competition.
And this is something where we could maybe see a Green Lantern of some sort. That's just a thought.
Yeah, I mean, I know when what's his name, Jeff Johns, when he left, he still wants to write Green Lantern Corps. That's like his dream.
Right.
I don't know if it's ever going to happen as a movie.
That's what I'm saying. So if Doom Patrol and this thing kind of takes off, this could be where we finally see some Green Lantern-esque things happening.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on. Mayans MC.
Yeah.
FX.
I watched it last night.
Okay, so I read the reviews on Collider.com.
Yeah.
Our TV staff over there, fantastic. Always doing the legwork, the getting everything early, which is amazing, and watching these full seasons and seeing stuff. The Mayans MC, they gave a tepid review, if you will. It wasn't amazing. It was fine.
Yeah.
I got to be honest. I thought because I was such a diehard Sons of Anarchy fan.
Likewise.
And I did. Quick spoiler alert! You see like a quick Sons of Anarchy thing. It's not Jax Teller isn't in it.
No.
It's a
there are
branch.
There are fun cameos.
Yes,
there are fun cameos, and if we do a breakout later this season, I do want to break down all of the Sons references because they are everywhere
the whole time.
The whole time, if you know where to look.
Yeah.
There's lots of Easter eggs for the fans.
Yes. I thought that the first episode, this whole thing, was. I just know the Sons plot lines so well that I saw the whole pilot happen. I saw it.
I guessed. I think my track record, I was maybe like 85% in terms of guessing stuff. I guessed the first twist.
Yeah.
About maybe 2 scenes in.
Okay.
I guessed the only twist I didn't get until right before it happened was the last twist.
Oh.
And that, like, it's as soon as that scene started, I was like, oh, I see it now. I didn't see it leading up to that.
Yeah.
So props for that, I guess.
Yeah.
But
that's the one I saw coming from as far away as possible.
It was the first twist that I saw that really was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, it's Sons. I watched every episode.
Me too.
All the way to the end.
Me too.
I got into the show because I was hanging out on a tour bus with one of the actors, Henry Rollins, who was in season 2. Hashtag
I
name
remember
drop.
that well.
And he was telling me stories about how fun it was to shoot the show. So I started watching it and loved it and binged a lot of the seasons. And even that last season,
1 through 3. Yeah, and got it up on 4.
I think I binged 1 through 4.
Okay,
4 was airing that year.
Gotcha.
But it's a lot of fun. It's a very entertaining show. It's a very entertaining world.
Yeah.
That as someone that can barely ride a bicycle, I really enjoy watching people with this certain particular set of skills who also happen to be in the crime world and juggling family and all that stuff. It's a Shakespearean story set in modern times, and that's always the way it's been. And so with those Shakespearean tragedies, you're always going to have the backstabbing and the double crossing and the all of the drama tropes. They're always going to be there. It's just like after 7 seasons.
Do we need a
whole thing just from a different point of view?
I mean, I do like the Mayans. Obviously, I always liked that they had a rival and then they became friends in Sons.
I want more Alvarez.
I do like the main character. He is charming. He's got he has a very I want to watch him more kind of a situation. I just I don't know if it did enough in the pilot that I'm going to watch 3 episodes. I'm going to keep watching the show again because I was so sold on Sons of Anarchy. But I feel like I've seen this cartel thing done to death. Yeah. In a certain extent. Yeah. No pun intended.
Yeah.
But
it's very true.
I've seen a lot of cartel stuff, and I don't know if I can go through another cartel show and still, because we'll talk about it in a minute, but I just watched Ozark, another cartel thing.
Yeah.
Knowing the cartel has their hands in everything and they seem to be able to kill everybody all the time, anywhere they want, whenever they want.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to a gang that wears the name of their gang on themselves and rides the loudest instrument possible.
They are kind of an easy target. There was one scene where they were walking through a town that they don't live in.
Right.
I don't want to spoil anything. They were walking through another town, and I'm like, why not flip the cuts inside out?
Right.
Like, you're literally just, it's a pride thing, and I think that's part of it. Is like they wear those uniforms, and it's part of the whole mentality. And I get it, but as someone that like watches enough of these shows to know, like, it's kind of like saying, don't go through that door.
Right.
It's like, don't walk in through the middle of a crowded room with a shirt that says like, hey guys, I'm over here.
I mean, I always thought, since I was a young kid, biker gangs, they're badass. But as a law enforcement, I'm like, biker gangs pretty easy to catch.
Yeah.
They're always together. They always wear the same outfit.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I can see you.
And you can hear them coming from a mile away.
Exactly. They're not exactly
quiet.
stealth.
Yeah. There's actually one scene where like they're going to hear us coming, and I'm like, of course they are.
You're on the loud. You can hear a motorcycle. If it was going on 2 blocks away, you could hear it through the studio.
Yes.
They just
and every now and then they have they pile them all into the back of a cargo van to try to like go stealth, and I'm like, just do that all the time.
Yeah,
get a big van and then put the motorcycles inside and then come out like a badass and just like open the doors and just zoom out. It's like B.A. Baracus is just like driving the van.
They're all in Sons. They would always have like 8 motorcycles in front of the van or behind the van, whatever the case may be, and then the van doors would open and they would start firing the guns. I'm just like, you guys would be way better if it was just all vans. It was just a van gang.
Should we start a van club?
We should start a van club.
VC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would we? The Sons of Vanarchy?
Oh. I was going to say Van Wilding, but yours is better.
Oh man, Vanarchy, here we come.
Vanarchy. Make it happen, kids.
We don't wear cuts, we wear like old starter jackets. We're just dads, like we're just in blazers with Sons of Anarchy on the back. Yeah.
Now, do we let in people with minivans in this gang?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
That
Honda,
Honda,
do minivans count?
That Honda Odyssey is fantastic.
Just making sure.
Take the seats out the back.
What about the ones that had the TV built into the back seat?
You're driving cross country, delivering your mule and drugs. You got to watch something.
The first time I ever watched Terminators 1 and 2 was in one of those minivans.
Yeah.
On a Boy Scout trip.
On VHS.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Correct. The old conversion vans.
But back to Mayans MC. I'm very cautiously optimistic. Okay. I want to like it. I like the border setting. And I think that they can do some fun stuff with that.
I'm a fan.
I was surprised by the flashbacks.
Yeah.
I didn't expect them to use that storytelling device.
Yeah.
But they kind of worked for me.
Because rarely did they use flashbacks.
Very rarely.
Sons. Yeah.
So I'm curious to see if they continue the flashbacks.
Yeah.
Like if we're gonna get more of those to help fill in the gaps. I love Michael Irby.
Yeah, me too.
I've always been
big fan
ever since The Unit.
Yeah, he was great.
Which
in The Unit.
he was in with Robert Patrick.
Yeah,
who was also a part of the Sons world.
Yeah. And who also, spoiler alert.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it, but yeah. He's in the opening credits.
Yeah,
it's not that much.
You're
of a
just
surprise.
waiting for Robert Patrick.
You're like, when's he going to show up?
Yeah.
But Michael Irby's also fantastic in Barry this past season.
Oh, he sure is.
Yes.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Okay, here's my final thought.
I liked it better than Bastard Executioner.
Oh,
because that show was unwatchable.
Yikes, that was bad. That was like taking Disenchanted, the Matt Groening animated show, and putting it live action with drama on FX. That's what The Bastard Executioner was.
Yeah, it was like the heads of FX said, "No, Kurt, really, you can do whatever you want.
We
don't care."
And Katie Seagal's like, "I've always wanted to do a period piece."
Was I the only one? I was kind of surprised that the main title song was not in Spanish.
Good call.
I was expecting a Spanish language version of the Sons song.
Yeah.
Riding in this world.
Yeah. But in Spanish.
Like, I don't speak Spanish very well, so.
Not many tattoos in the opening credits.
No, didn't.
And
they didn't do the tats.
That didn't end was a very dramatic montage set to a very powerful song.
That's a very good point. It did not have that, which I'm glad.
I know,
because they did that one too many times.
Now,
and by that I mean every single episode. Every episode. It was like an hour 20 runtime, and 10 minutes was just a montage.
if we start to get to see him like having sex just from the back, the main guy.
Oh, yeah.
Of like, and we get the Jax Teller sex montage, but with him,
Yeah.
then you'll know the show is finally a success.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. I mean, we can rate the pilot. You want to rate the pilot?
Sure.
Out of
What's our scale? We haven't done a
set
scale.
a scale yet.
A scale from 1 to 6 minivans.
Minivans, vanarchy.
Yeah.
1 to 6 vanarchy
1 to 6.
vans.
6 being the best.
Yeah, I give it a 4 vans.
Yeah.
4 vanarchy.
Yeah, I think 4.
Put like trending to 4.
Yeah, like 375.
Okay.
I think 3 vans and 1 van that's got a concrete block under one tire. So it's almost
Waiting
ready.
for a spare.
It's almost ready. Mm-hmm. It just needs a little bit of a kick.
I'm with you. Okay. This the Sons of Vanarchy available on Freeform next season. Okay. Always Sunny season 13 premiered this week. Woo! And man, it doesn't ever disappoint.
Even their worst episodes are still some of my favorite television on the planet. They constantly make me laugh. They make me laugh in ways that I didn't expect to laugh, which is I really appreciate that because a lot of shows like they're making you laugh because of tried and true jokes.
Yes,
and there are those obviously.
Shut up, bird.
There are so many callbacks and so many jokes that you just you look forward to every week, but the shit that comes out of their mouths or out of their brains and onto the paper. Yeah. I don't know where some of it comes from. And it constantly amazes me.
When they go, I don't know, he's in what shape one season, he's fat the next. Like they're just basically going full meta.
Yeah, on max weight loss. Yeah. And he's just like, guys, what about this?
He's got the duster.
Yeah.
He brings back the duster.
My only critique, part of me liked that they didn't reference how they became friends with Mindy Kaling.
Right.
But it almost felt like it was too sudden. It felt like it was.
Where did she come from?
It almost felt like there was another episode that they filmed without Dennis that they shuffled the episode order.
Right.
It was like
because we didn't know if he was coming back.
And the show starts, and you're like, she's just there.
Okay.
And part of me really liked that, but then when they went into the back room, again, I don't want to spoil it, when they went into the office to discuss their plan, I was expecting a little bit more quick exposition just to kind of like...
You've only been friends for us for 2 days, whatever.
Yeah. We just met you yesterday or whatever it may be. Because like I couldn't tell, like, is she Mac's new roommate?
Right.
Like what is the relationship?
Is she a new bar consultant they brought in to profit?
Yeah. I was very confused as to how they joined up with her. Yeah. I liked her character. I wanted to see more of her throughout the season. I hope that she makes a reappearance.
Me too.
But
when she goes Murphy's Pub, like, what's that? Who's that? It's like bar on the corner. Oh, right.
That bar. They have all those people. Like, haven't they done like 4 episodes set at Murphy's Pub? Didn't the waitress work there at one point? Like, they just had no recollection whatsoever.
Do you like? This was a subtle catch, but that the waitress had the same haircut as Dennis. Did you put that together?
Didn't until just the second, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
Also love that Charlie still knows her only by the waitress, even though they're living together.
I know.
And some things never change. There's one visual gag. Frank doesn't have a lot to do this episode, but there's one visual gag that with Frank. And I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's towards the end of the episode, him and Charlie, and it's up there in terms of Frank gags. Yeah. Like I was expecting a little bit more from. I mean, he's done so much in this show. Like nothing beats out
a Frank one-liner that just comes out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. Well, he does pull his gun out. He did pull the gun out. So there was like Frank's gun watch that did happen. Yeah. It's constantly amazing. And I don't know if you noticed. Dennis's name not in the opening credits.
I know they threw us for I did notice that.
Yeah,
but then at the end, he was the first credit.
Yeah,
at the end.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. If you're a fan of the show, it's the 13th season. You know what they're.
Of course, they're coming back.
But the Dennis sex doll, I hope, is available for sale.
It's got to come
from
back
the FX
at some point too, right?
I mean, I'd buy one.
Yeah.
The things that they were coming up with,
animatronic. Yeah.
The things they were coming up with to allude to the fact that everyone was having sex with the doll. Pretty great.
It was awesome.
Pretty great.
All right. Let's move on.
How many vans would you give the Sons of Anarchy? Or how many Dennis sex dolls?
Dennis sex doll, a full tilt, a hard Dennis sex doll, 6 Dennis sex dolls.
6 Dennis sex dolls? Yeah. All right, I'm with you there.
Yeah.
I'm with you there. I'm curious to see if they can hold my attention. They always kind of lag a little bit in the middle.
Just a touch.
So I'm curious to see if they can do it every week.
And my buddy Todd Bierman directed this episode, so pretty cool. Yeah.
All right. Hashtag name drop.
Yeah, there you go. There's 2 name drops in an episode.
I like it.
And 2 future members of the Sons of Vanarchy.
Yes.
There you go. We got Marvel TV coming this weekend.
Oh, yes, we do.
We got Iron Fist drops today, when we release this episode. Well, I was recording, Iron Fist is yet to be viewed.
Yes.
Now, I know people on the website have viewed it.
Yes.
And they said it was better than season 1.
But
it's still Iron Fist.
It's still Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 13 episodes. I'll be honest with you, man. I don't think I can sit through the whole season of Iron Fist.
I mean, I'll tell you what. I binged the first season in like a day and a half, maybe.
Yeah, I was about that.
It wasn't as I'd already heard so many bad things that it wasn't as disappointing. I had lowered my expectations. I'm in the middle of Luke Cage season 2, and they just got to a point where the episode. This isn't really a spoiler. The episode ended with him saying like, "Call Danny." So I'm assuming the next episode we're gonna meet Iron Fist again, and I'm looking forward to watching it because I want to see. I want to see how he is if they've been able to put Finn Jones through some fight choreography classes, and Colleen,
or just dance classes so he can get on a beat of
Colleen
some sort.
Wing has already been in the show.
Oh, she's great.
She's fantastic. She made an appearance earlier in the season.
Jessica Henwick.
Yes, incredible. She's the best part of Iron Fist.
100%.
Alice Eve is a villain this year.
I like Alice Eve.
I like Alice Eve.
She's out of my league.
Yes, yeah, and it's a good movie and also true. Yeah.
And shot in the greatest city on this planet, really.
Cleveland?
Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah. But I it's 13. But I actually, wait a second.
Okay.
It's fewer than 13 this year.
Get out of town.
I thought I just read.
Please tell me.
I thought I just read that they had a shorter run.
Season 2. 23. So it's 10 episodes.
Only 10 episodes this season. Okay. All right. Now that changes my opinion a lot.
I'm gonna go full De Niro now.
All right. I think 10 I can do. 10's a binge I can do.
10.
I can do 10. I did those 8 Defenders.
Can we get a Sons of Vanarchy applause for 10 episodes?
Yeah, and for Marvel realizing you don't have to do 13 episodes or
Good
something.
Lord, they must have been listening to us.
Yeah, because we've been saying that for a while.
Preach that.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they could all benefit from 10 episodes.
I'll tell you what.
Even the excellent Punisher series could have still been 10 episodes.
Oh, 100% agree.
I understand. It's a money thing. It's a writer's thing. You're employing people.
Sure.
All of that stuff. There's a business side of it for it to be a longer run.
Yeah.
From a storytelling perspective, it benefits the show with the shorter runtime.
That I agree with you. I understand the payment and everything, but even with 10 episodes, by shorter seasons, we can see more of it.
True.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, with 13, that's 3 more episodes is another month and a half of filming on a Marvel TV show.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot.
Yeah.
With 10, you could release one season of each show with 10 episodes across the board, and then take some of those writers to go to other things and employ the whole staff for a whole year. And they use
a lot of the same, like a lot of the. Our buddy Matt shifts from show to show.
He's great. Some of his episodes in Luke Cage are fantastic.
Oh yeah, there's he wrote one of the best Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episodes last season.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. But he bounces from show to show, and so I think they can still employ all their people.
If you were going to give yourself a date of when you may be fit, do you think by next Friday you'll be done with 10 episodes?
No, not a chance. Not a chance, because I still have I think 4 episodes of Luke Cage, and because he's in it, I really want to finish that to know what the story is.
Maybe after we're done, you can tell me what happens in the first 6 episodes of Luke Cage, and I can go watch the last 7.
Yeah, I really liked season 2 of Luke Cage.
Okay,
and it doesn't switch on a dime like season 1 did.
Yeah. Do I need to finish Jessica Jones before I get to Luke Cage?
No, there isn't any reference to her in this really.
Cool.
Season 2 of Jessica Jones, the back half was good.
Yeah, but that's what you keep telling me, and I'm already done with the first half.
The front half was a hard push.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll. Man, well there. Because I feel like
Collider grunt talk.
Yeah, Collider grunt. I feel like first of all, if you want to know what the overall thing is, we're probably gonna have to wait a couple weeks before we get to Iron Fist, and that's listen. There's a lot of other TV out here that we can watch and we can talk about. Iron Fist, I don't think is going to push the needle as much as we think. But if you want to go and see what the Collider.com folks thought, go check it out.
Yeah,
because they always do amazing work.
Correct.
And I know Vinny Mancuso, I believe, is going to be in the office coming up soon.
Yeah, I think
so we're going to try and get him.
I think he's moving in next week.
Oh, okay, great.
So yeah, hopefully soon.
He'll be a regular contributor here on Collider TV Talk. Maybe give us some insights of things that we may not have watched or yada yada yada.
Yes.
All right, let's move on. Huge Sunday this Sunday, September 9th, Thad.
Sunday.
We've got The Deuce Season 2. And I didn't think I was going to like The Deuce Season 1.
I didn't watch it.
Okay. I didn't think I was going to like it, mostly because there's 2 James Francos.
That is too many.
Too many James Francos.
Yeah.
Okay? But in spite of James Franco, this show was actually really well done.
Well, it is David Simon.
Yeah. And you know who's the standout star of this show is Maggie Gyllenhaal. She is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And I thought she would get a lot more awards recognition.
Yeah.
But I also thought that Dave Krumholtz in last season, he's in the last couple episodes,
that guy.
like the last 4 basically. Fantastic. He's really, really great. He's like the Mark Maron in Glow to
Maggie's,
the Deuce. Yes.
Okay, Maggie's character.
I'm really looking forward to the Deuce season 2 because I thought it was well done. Shameless season 9. I honestly can't. I thought that around season 6 I was done with Shameless, but I stuck with it.
Yeah.
And the last 2 seasons have been unbelievably good.
They hit a lull, but they've come in strong. It's a binging show. It's not a show that I would recommend to watch week to week. You can get through a couple episodes at a time. It's quick and breezy.
Yep.
The kids are great. William H. Macy is doing his greatest work every week.
100%.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, because I was talking about it because the big news was right after we finished, literally after we finished taping last week's episode.
Right after.
We walked out and the news was that Emmy Rossum had announced that she was leaving the show.
Yeah.
So, and they're splitting the season into 2 parts. So I wonder if she's leaving at the cliffhanger for the mid-season finale. And then the second half is like dealing with the absence of Fiona.
Yeah.
But
I wonder if it's going to be a permanent absence or if she's going to make some cameos and come back here and there. But
the official statement was that the door is always open, and in the UK version ran for many, many years. And a lot of the actors would leave, like go to college or whatever, and then they'd write them out and then bring them back.
Right.
And they kind of did that a little bit with Carl and
yeah, because Carl basically,
and what the redhead?
What's her name? Debbie.
No, the redheaded guy.
Oh, Ian.
Yeah. When he was playing the Joker on Gotham and stuff, and so they've kind of weaved them in and out.
Yeah.
But I don't know how that show really works without Fiona, but I'm really curious to see how that family tries to live without Fiona, because she's, as much as she's the glue, she's also kind of the thing that's keeping a lot of them down.
I agreed.
So
I honestly am looking more forward to Fiona being gone to see where the family goes without her than I am another season of whatisfionatthink.com.
True. No, that's very true. That's very true. They've been running in circles a little bit here and there.
For sure. But I am looking very much forward to season 9 premiere of Shameless. Thad, the greatest show on television is The Last Ship, and season 5 is coming. The Last Ship on TNT.
What is The Last?
No, I don't know. I've never seen it.
Is that the Michael Bay show?
It's the McDreamy show.
Yeah.
Or McSteamy.
McSteamy on a boat.
On a boat.
Yeah.
I remember when it first came out, and I kept getting tweets, and people were like, "You got to watch the." No, you know what it was? It was my first Comic-Con, and every badge had The Last Ship on it. And there was a ship, and there was a Last Ship party, and it was like, The Last Ship is going to be incredible. And so I watched the pilot.
Yeah.
Well, they aren't the last ship, and you find that out in the pilot.
I hate when they do that. It's like The Last Man on Earth, but they did it really well at The Last Man on Earth.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I watched the pilot. I could never really get into The Last Ship. Anyway, that was just a joke. I apologize to all you Last Ship fans out there. Kidding is the Jim Carrey show.
Very curious about that.
Me too.
I love Michelle Gondry. I love Jim Carrey.
Yep.
I don't know what the hell to make of this show.
Me neither.
It's like Death to Smoochie the series.
Yeah. Or like a reject Mr. Rogers almost.
Yeah. He's
like Captain Kangaroo.
He's
depressed.
like a Mr. Rogers that has like an existential crisis.
Correct.
Kind of thing.
And I love Jim Carrey. I mean, the man's comedy shaped my youth.
Yeah.
I don't love depressed Jim Carrey.
do you think he can carry you think he can Jim carry a series? Like, I'm serious.
I love that you caught yourself.
I mean, it's
I
like,
love that you really caught yourself.
it's my brother's name is Carrie, so I'm used to saying it out loud.
Yes.
But yeah, like I don't know if I can. I just don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it works. I want it to work.
This looks very much like he's playing Andy Kaufman to a sort of extent.
And if you've watched Jim and Andy, which if you haven't yet, it's on Netflix. It's one of my favorite documentaries of the last year.
100%.
And you get a great window into the psyche of Jim Carrey as the actor, the comedian, and the human.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to color my opinion of this show because I don't know if I can say it's like when you watch a George Clooney movie.
Yeah.
Are you watching George Clooney's character or are you watching George Clooney in makeup?
Just Clooneying it.
I mean, it happens with a lot of leading men.
Mm-hmm.
They have a hard time like disappearing into a role because you're seeing them so many times in so many places.
Right.
I think Jim Carrey is one of those actors that like he will always kind of be Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
And no matter how, I mean, even if he's got a beard and obsessed with the number 23, you still think, oh, that's Jim Carrey.
Right.
So
it's tough. But I'm intrigued by it because artistic, I mean, right now it got an 82% on Rotten Tomatoes for people that have seen it already.
That's interesting.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
But, I
mean, Michel Gondry is an acquired taste. And
Yes.
I'm curious to see how he will do with long-form storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how. I assume this is like 10 episodes.
I would imagine
or
10, yeah.
Somewhere in that world.
I mean, he's a producer on not Last Man Standing.
Jim Carrey's a producer on
I'm Dying Up Here.
I'm Dying Up Here.
Yeah. Not the Tim Allen program, Last Man Standing.
Though
the Last Man Standing is not the Last Man Standing, and the show is coming back, so he is standing again.
He is still standing, but
I'm still standing. Yeah. Nice. That's
is that our requisite song for the week?
Sons of Anarchy, that's our theme song.
Yeah.
I'm still vanning. yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, what if Jim Carrey guest stars on Last Man Standing as Jim Carrey?
Oh,
like Tim Allen has to deal with this weird eccentric actor that comes into his tool. I think he's in like a Bass Pro Shop kind of thing. Is where he works.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Tim Allen knows his card.
I've seen like one episode of Last Man Standing at most. Yeah.
Hey, listen, if people are watching it, keep paying the actors.
They brought it back.
Yeah.
Everything's coming back. I want to talk about that a little bit
Yeah.
later. But anyways, let's. What else we got? What else we got on Sunday?
So that's it for Sunday. Really,
there's series premiere of Rel. I am looking forward to that.
Yeah, because he was great. He
was great on the Carmichael Show.
Correct.
And he's
Get Out.
And he's hilarious in Get Out.
Mm-hmm.
They basically, if you watch the Carmichael Show, it was a great show.
Fantastic.
Underrated,
Criminally underrated.
really funny, really biting humor. Great for our time. It was a modern day Norman Lear show. But towards the end of the run, they integrated some of Rel's stand up into his character and his backstory, because he has a very funny backstory.
Yeah.
They're using that same backstory for this show, and Gerard is an executive producer on this show.
Good for him.
So it's almost like an extension from the Carmichael show to a certain extent. And Sinbad's playing his father or the father figure on the show.
You know what would happen.
It was. I mean, yeah.
Only a matter of time before Sinbad came back.
I'm so glad.
Me too.
He never left.
No, he really didn't. If you watch Houseguest once a week, you know he never left.
Yeah. I loved him in Kazam. Yeah.
I also really liked him in First Kid.
Yeah.
Great in First Kid.
First Kid's a lot of fun. First Kid was shot in my hometown.
Was it really?
Yeah.
That's your hometown mall?
Maybe.
At the end there.
But our state capitol doubles as the White House for a lot of movies in the 90s.
Nice.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, some friends of mine were extras in the movie and stuff.
There you go. Okay.
I didn't meet him. I did not.
Oh.
No.
Damn it.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to Rel. It's a multicam sitcom, but he's hilarious. He worked really well in the multicam format for Gerard.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Rel, season 1.
Yeah.
I like it.
And the Miss America competition's on Sunday night. If you're still watching the Miss America competition, congratulations.
No. Yeah.
Do you have any gambling insights as to who might?
It's always Miss Arkansas.
Oh.
If you watch and know anything about Patch, I don't know.
It's good to know. All right.
Okay, we've got 4 shows that we won't give any spoilers about.
Yeah.
We got The Sinner, we got Jack Ryan, we got Ozark, and we got Better Call Saul. What do you want to talk about first?
Well, I've been binging The Sinner. Finished all season 1 over the weekend, over the Labor Day weekend. Loved it. Thought it was really great story, standalone story. And then there's a season 2.
Yeah,
he continues. We get more more sinning with Mr. Pullman. This is our Independence Day, and we get a season 2. And I'm really digging season 2. I'm four episodes in.
Okay,
and I think the new story is different enough to make me entertained.
Okay.
Has a lot of the same kind of psychological questions surrounding it.
Yeah.
All of the pain that these characters are feeling that makes Bill Pullman's character kind of relate to them.
Sure.
I think it works really well. Yeah, it's a really well done show.
It's fantastic. I thought the first season was great. I think this season is creepy. Is what I wanted the path to be on Hulu. It's
yeah. My
way
wife
more,
said the same thing. She's like, this second season's like way better than the path.
Yes. Yeah. There you go. I am really enjoying the second season. No spoilers, but this show is not getting worse. I think it's one of the because it could have fallen into that True Detective season 2 kind of a situation,
where they just kind of disappeared.
But within a year, it's come around.
And the original series, it's based on one book. I don't think it's based on a book series.
No.
So I don't know if the first case in season 1 was based on the book, and now it's just the characters in a new world.
I think the second
Derek Simons is the creator of both.
Yeah,
this is his first show, and he's killing it with this thing.
It's like it's an same S-mail kind of situation.
Yeah, just blowing up. It's fantastic. I think and Tracy Letts. We were talking about this yesterday. He's always great to see. Carrie Coon is fantastic. Second season's really, really solid.
The fact that Carrie Coon's first credits basically are The Leftovers, and now has exploded.
Well, she was in theater. She was in theater the whole time.
Yeah.
She was She I was telling you, she's married to Tracy Letts.
Yeah.
They met when they were, or they got married right after they did Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf
at Steppenwolf.
Yeah, and then I think on Broadway for a little while. Maybe
Who's Afraid of Virginia Steppenwolf?
Yeah.
She loves. Never mind.
She's a big fan of Justice League.
So did you watch Jack Ryan?
I watched the pilot. I watched the first episode.
What'd you think?
Cool. I mean, it's fun. It's explosions. It's what I want in a Jack Ryan show.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting political gray areas like Homeland.
Yeah.
Nah.
I was talking about Homeland yesterday. I haven't watched the last couple seasons. People it's getting better. And
It is.
I know. And
I didn't watch this. I haven't watched.
I don't know if I can take more Claire Danes.
I haven't watched the last season, but I watched the year before that. I loved it.
Okay. All right. I watched all of Jack Ryan.
Yeah. What do you think?
It. Well, all these critics are panning, and I have no idea why. Am I missing something?
I mean,
what am I missing?
Tom Clancy has never been one for great. I mean, he's dead, but his books and his characters have never been one for a lot of nuance.
Sure.
They're kind of straightforward action movies. They're militaristic. There's good guys and bad guys, and he wrote a lot of them during the Cold War, and it was the Russians. They've updated them now, and it's Arab insurgents, and it's kind of like 24. Like there's going to be some clear cut.
I thought it was a gritty 24.
Yeah,
I love that Bunk from The Wire is in it. He's fantastic.
He's also really good on Suits.
That's Suits, the show.
I'm gonna sneak that in every week.
Yeah. Also, Jack Ryan playing Jeopardy at the beginning in the pilot. Did you notice that?
Yes,
and he's getting the questions right that nobody else is getting.
It was showing that he's smarter than everyone else. It was a good visual way of explaining.
I love that.
He's really smart.
Yeah.
I liked it.
And he likes baseball.
Yeah.
Big Orioles fan, Thad, just like you.
Yeah.
But I can't. I will say
because Tom Clancy was a co-owner of the Baltimore Orioles.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I mean, after 8 episodes, listen, again, we're not really critics. We're just people that are big fans of TV that get to talk about it.
I can barely write a sentence.
Yeah. As you went to a liberal arts college, you're smart.
I got a waiver in math because I took 3 years of it in high school. I am not. Don't kid yourself.
As a fan of television, I was a huge fan of Jack Ryan. Me and the wife binged it in the weekend. It was an easy binge. It was fantastic. I love the ending. Thought the whole thing just really came together really well. It wasn't too heavy-handed in a lot of places. I thought it was just well done. So out of 6 vans full of Jack Ryans singing along to I'm Still Standing as the Sons of Anarchy, solid 5.5 out of 6 vans.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, really I'm really looking forward to finishing the season.
Yeah.
I've got some work this weekend. Hashtag Schmodown Live.
Oh, there you go.
But I will try to binge it pretty soon, and maybe we can do a spoiler talk, because I know they're already in production on season 2. I'm seeing a ton of casting notices
love it.
popping up for their casting season 2 actors. So Amazon's like all in on this thing, and John Krasinski. I mean, it's John Krasinski.
I can't get enough of him.
Like, I mean, he was fantastic in A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see him direct another film after that.
Yeah.
He's very likable and affable and entertaining. Sure, he's an action star. Tell me he's an action star, I believe you.
I buy it. I mean, he has his shirt off at least 10 times. He's ripped. I mean, he's still jacked.
Sure.
It's from the 13 hours. But totally off topic.
Yeah.
Sort of off topic.
That's very out of the norm for this show.
Sure. We were at the grocery store on Sunday, and we had just finished the series.
Okay.
And I'm in line, and I see this guy next to me, and look real quick, and I was like, oh, man, that's Krasinski. I was like, it's totally John Krasinski. So I said to Amanda, I was like, babe, that's John Krasinski. She looks, she goes, that's not John Krasinski. And I go, no, it is. She goes, no, look at his arms. He's too skinny. So I was like, oh, yeah, he's not jacked enough. He can't be Jack Ryan. And then I looked over.
Jax Ryan?
Jax Ryan. So I looked over and I was like, oh, it's John Krasinski. He was a skinny John Krasinski. So John Krasinski. So it wasn't Jack Ryan, but I wanted to see Jack Ryan and at the Ralph's, but that wasn't
I
him.
bumped into Pam in a grocery store in New York.
Nice.
Speaking
Jenna
of
Fisher.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. Her little kid, she was wheeling her kid in a stroller, and kid dropped something out of the stroller and like landed on my wife's shoe, and she like picked it up and handed it to her. I was like, that's Pam.
Bam.
That's Pam.
Where's Jim? Speaking of 6 vans full of Mexican cartel people trying to launder money, 6 out of 6, Ozark season 2. Binged it. Burned
I got to start the show. You've been on this one for a while. I didn't know if I could do another Jason Bateman thing.
If they're that like in Catch Me If You Can, when Christopher Walken is talking about the mouse turning the butter.
Yes.
Right?
Familiar.
If you're turning the butter and you get all the way to the top, and at the bottom, in the barrel of Netflix, right? There's just a barrel, fish in a barrel. If you're shooting the barrel, there's all fish are full of Ozarks. That was a weird comparison. I know you. I follow me. You got
I follow you.
Ozark is at the top of the barrel.
You're saying you don't like it.
I hate it.
You hated the show.
No, Ozark, Thadd, is Breaking Bad.
Yeah, that's why. That was actually the reason I didn't
Jason
start
Bateman's
it.
Breaking Bad.
I was like, I don't know if I want to watch another Breaking Bad. They did it so good the first time.
They write the kids really well.
You're telling me it's great. Christian's telling me it's great. I gotta
fan-freaking.
I gotta get on it. I gotta get on it. But I'm not gonna get on it anytime soon. So if you want to do a spoiler thing, pull Christian in there.
And I think somebody else is watching it. Not Riley's watching it for sure, but Roxy. So it might be me, Christian, and Roxy talking about it next week.
Yeah.
But Ozark season 2, so many Sons of Anarchy. It's really good.
All right.
And finally, one of our favorite shows, and I'm sticking to my guns from last week. If they had called this and told people this was going to be a Breaking Bad prequel, more people would be watching it. This episode of,
I mean, he's talking about Better Call Saul. By the way, if you couldn't.
My bad.
Figure that out from his vocal inflections. Better Call Saul. They did an episode this past week where if you're a fan of Breaking Bad, if you're a fan of the character of Saul Goodman, if you're a fan of his alter ego / a real person, Jimmy McGill, if you're a fan of any of the actors in Better Call Saul, if you're a fan of anything in the world related to Breaking Bad, it's all in 1 hour of television. The good, the bad, the dirty, the disgusting. It's all there. It's got it is full of references without being a clip show.
Yep.
And this is a program that could have so easily just been a reference machine of just like, hey, take a look at this. Oh, remember this? Remember Los Pollos Hermanos? Remember the cook room? Remember the van?
Yeah.
It is on a different level. It is a different way of telling a story. It's like a deconstructed piece of food that you see at like a fancy restaurant. Like they're
one
like
of those gastronomy places.
You're like this is a hamburger, and you're like, no, it's not. It's 20 different pieces on a plate, and then you put it all together, and oh my god, it's a hamburger.
Right.
Like it is amazing what they're doing.
Yep.
The storytelling on this show, and this past week, I think they were at their pinnacle for giving you everything you thought you wanted, but didn't know. Like you wanted it, but you didn't know to ask.
100%.
I was floored.
Yeah,
and so was Jimmy.
Yeah. Well said.
Hey.
Well done. No, just Yeah, the show just gets smarter and smarter.
We need it. When the season's done, we'll do like a whole spoiler
100%
thing on the whole run because
I feel like people are starting to slowly jump on that bandwagon. You and I are driving the train, and people are just slowly getting on stop after stop.
The van wagon, the wagon, the wagoneer, the van wagon. Sorry, got to keep it on brand.
Damn, Sons of Vanarchy.
Yeah, I'm definitely giving this season six meth vans out of 6. I think this
6 vans filled with. Well, there is a van in this episode. 6 vans filled with undercover architects. Contractors? What are those guys?
Yeah.
Contractors, I guess? Contractors?
Yeah. They're like freelance.
Foreign freelance.
Freelance design people. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, it's like the shady Frank Gehry.
Correct.
Yeah.
Do you want, this is totally up to you. Would you like to go into the streaming, sifting through the streaming landscape, or do you want to go to some other news, burn through that real quick, and then come back?
Let's burn through this other news.
Okay.
That I was
done and done.
This is like the list of all the little stories that I just wanted to talk about because I'm weird. Okay. First and foremost,
Thad. This is your van. Get out of shotgun. Get in the driver's seat.
I'm getting in the driver's seat. All right. First,
here's where the van shifter is. It's right here. There you go.
All right. So first things first. If you are a fan of Law and Order, and if you're a fan of Law and Order SVU, then get ready. You know why? Because it's time for Law and Order Hate Crimes.
Oh.
That's not even the right dun-dun sound. I was going for the Law and Order dun-dun.
Just when you thought there weren't enough crimes out there, we brought you more. This time, hate
there
stuff.
It is.
Oh, there you go.
There it is.
There you go.
All right. Yeah.
So do you have a Law and Order sound effect?
I did have a Law and Order sound effect ready. But
well done.
So Law and Order Hate Crimes. They ordered, I think, a 13-episode run for next year.
All right.
Dick Wolf is still the best name in all of television.
100%.
And he is basing this on the real life hate crimes unit in New York that apparently works alongside the Special Victims Unit.
Oh.
So it's going to start as a
Special Hate Crimes
backdoor spinoff.
Ah.
Poor choice of words.
Okay.
A backdoor spinoff inside of SVU.
Okay.
And then move on to its own show.
Hate Crimes.
You know, everyone gives Law and Order a bad rap.
Question though. Will they solve it at the end of the
They
episode?
will solve it, but they don't always. But what I appreciate about SVU is they don't always solve it. It's not as clear cut, good guy, bad guy like the original show.
Okay.
They started getting a little bit grayer, a little bit playing in and out of the lines a little bit.
Okay.
So I think SVU is going into its 20th season. 20 years on the air, which is unbelievable. I don't even think the original Law and Order, I think it got axed like either going into 20 or like right after the 20th, it got like unceremoniously canceled right before they were going to break.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
They were right about to break the Gunsmoke record.
Yeah.
And then they were just like, nope, we're done.
We're out.
Yeah. And they had no idea.
Yeah.
But it's another Law and Order show. It's fine. It's whatever. We don't need one. We never need them. But
you know what we do
if
need
Law and
more?
Order pops up when I'm flipping channels and like it's 10 minutes into the episode, I'm watching the rest of the episode.
Getting a hate crime episode in.
It's catching me every time.
You know what we do need more of them? Wolf. Dick Wolf. Sorry. Dick Wolf.
Dick Wolves.
Sorry. Dick Wolves.
Yeah. Another news, no show apparently is ever actually canceled.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how many times a show gets canceled, someone will pick it up. Case in point, Designated Survivor.
Except for Freaks and Geeks, apparently.
Oh, sorry, Sam.
Yeah.
Where's the sad trombone sound? It's not ready. Designated Survivor just got picked up for Netflix.
Cool.
It's going to go into its 5th showrunner for its 3rd season. You can do the math on that.
It's like a 50s movie star. It's my 5th wife of the week. All right.
Yeah.
Her name's Kitty. She's lovely.
I tried to watch Designated Survivor in the first season because I love Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah.
And I love political shows.
I watched the pilot.
Yeah.
And then I watched the pilot, and I could write the next 60 episodes of the show.
My God. My wife and I, we watched like the first 8 or 9, And finally, like I think a mid-season finale ended with like a sniper rifle bullet.
Yeah.
And we're like, this is it. We're done. We're done.
Yeah.
And I caught like a 10 minutes of an episode in the middle of last season, like flipped it on randomly, and it was just like, what is the show doing? How is it still in the air? But apparently Netflix is saving it because streaming platforms just need IP. It's all they care about right now. They want recognizable stuff, and they want a lot of it. And if they're giving you a show, they've already got 2 seasons in the can. That's like 45 episodes right there. They produce another 20 or 30, boom, and then they can just have something that they can just binge, and you can just turn it on, and you can turn and then just zone out.
But
it's not good for the world. It's not good for society.
if they're talking about like putting advertisements in Netflix,
yeah. But I don't think they're really doing that. I think they were just doing that. I think they just said that to get us to say like, no, we'll pay whatever you ask.
Right.
Just don't give us ads.
That's
how the masses talk now.
Oh, is it?
We won't do
Dateline.
it. Just give
Netflix
us
to add ads.
Oh no! But yeah, so whatever. Designated Survivor's coming back. If you're a big fan of that, Kiefer, I think you're the only one.
You're the designated survivor.
Yes, yeah, it survived. Also on Netflix, the new teaser for House of Cards, the final season.
She looks at the camera now.
Well, she did that in the last season. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I didn't watch last season.
Last season was really good, and
Okay.
it ended with a really easy way for them to write him out of the show.
Gotcha.
And this teaser, spoiler alert, they write him out of the show because
Yeah.
it's her talking to Frank at his grave.
And people be waiting in line.
And
Oh no, she doesn't knock.
she doesn't knock yet. She knocked I think in the season finale.
Okay.
She knocked on the desk because she's president now.
No, yeah, no. I mean, I finished season 3, and then I haven't watched since season 3.
4 was fine. 5 was really good.
Okay. So I
4,
feel like
4 had Joel Kinnaman show up, which was cool.
I like Joel Kinnaman.
But yeah, this final season, I'm hoping it's solid. They brought in some.
I may just watch the final season
I'm
simply.
just really curious.
Yeah.
Really curious
or
to
just
see how
watch
it
the
ends.
series finale.
Yeah,
to be honest with you.
just curious to see how it does.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the teaser.
There you go.
I know you said you're a fan of Younger.
I do like Younger, and I'm excited that it's the Paramount Network because
moving to Paramount.
TV Land. They're both on demand, but Paramount Network keeps the episodes there longer.
Oh, well, there you
So,
go.
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And also on Paramount Network, they canceled a show with Alicia Silverstone.
Yeah. Wow. What was that show?
American
called?
Woman?
Yeah, American Woman.
American
I watched the
Woman.
We're not watching you.
Yeah, I didn't even know that show existed, and I love Alicia Silverstone.
I know. I tried to watch it. It was. I don't know. It was okay.
Yeah,
It just wasn't good enough that I was like, I gotta watch it. Back to the van.
fair enough.
Yeah.
And they found the third lead for the first Wives Club reboot that they're doing. It's going to be Ryan Michelle Bath, who is Sterling K. Brown's wife in real life.
Yeah. I
And-
like Michelle Buteau.
Yeah, yeah.
Jill Scott's great too.
Yeah, it's a good cast. It's one of the writers from Girls Trip that's doing the adaptation.
Cool.
So
I like First Wives Club.
yeah, it's funny.
Big fan. Yeah.
We got some political
Yeah.
shows on the world.
Well, you knew Sacha Baron Cohen was going to get sued eventually
by somebody.
for all
Well, I
this
mean,
kind of stuff.
they didn't air. He didn't air the Sarah Palin
know.
interview, and I think that was because an impending lawsuit probably was like hitting Showtime's desk. But now Roy Moore has sued him for $95 million.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm not going to say anything on that other than
Here's the thing.
if you get tricked into a show.
But okay. All intelligence aside, all low, because I thought Who Is America was just really heavy-handed at points.
Yeah, I didn't get through the whole
It was kind of funny
series.
at points.
Yeah.
It was very not funny at points. I just find Sacha Baron Cohen's shtick to be a little over the top at this point. And his humor again at points was very well done, but you are really attacking the lowest common denominator, and I understand that that's where the comedy is, and I get it.
Sure.
My argument has always been like, if they know going into this that they're probably going to get sued, why make the show?
I think they do it. I think that it probably
As hard as it is to get
emboldens
shows
them.
made.
It probably emboldens them a little bit further. Like if they get sued, if they get like the backlash, I think they like by the season finale they were cutting montages of all the clips of all the people that were like going on the morning shows and saying like this is an outrage and all
Right.
this stuff. And it's kind. I mean. In their mind, I think in a way they're speaking truth to power, and they're like pulling back the curtain and showing that these people will do and say anything if you fly them somewhere and tell them that they're getting an award,
Right.
they will say whatever they want you to say. And I think that's kind of his whole thesis.
No, I get it.
And so I think that these kind of instances, that it's like it's part of the job. You're
Mm-hmm.
going to get hit with a lawsuit once or twice. I just think it's funny that it's Roy Moore, the one guy that let's be honest, was pretty much clear cut, defined.
And his thing wasn't even that bad.
Well, no, it was the pedophilia one.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
Roy Moore didn't fall into that as hard as a lot of the other idiots.
No, and he certainly didn't come to it with a clean slate.
No.
It's just funny.
He didn't do himself any favors, but
No. But and also in the political television
like this
world,
one.
Alex Gibney, who's a really, really good documentary filmmaker,
Mm-hmm.
he's producing a documentary series on the Clinton scandal and the Clinton impeachment.
Yeah, I love it.
And he got Monica Lewinsky on camera to do a series of interviews, and apparently they have new footage, never before seen footage of Clinton and Lewinsky meeting with one another. That footage that contradicts some timelines from the 90s.
Whoa.
So it sounds
Slick Willy.
it sounds like they're producing the documentary in today's lens, kind of looking at the case from the way we're looking at stuff now when it comes to workplace harassment and abuses of power, and also abuses within the executive branch, and how the legislative branch and the judicial branch can kind of counterbalance it all.
Yeah.
As I smack the mic. But I think that it's very interesting, very timely.
Agreed.
I'm curious to see it.
Me too. Finally, go ahead.
No, do it.
I can't be more excited for this.
It's the best news I saw all week when I pulled up the calendar.
Norm Macdonald has a show, is what it's called.
Yes.
It's going to be on Netflix. Debuts next Friday.
Correct.
A week from when this airs.
Yeah.
Listen, I think Norm Macdonald's sports show was so ahead of its time, but that no network, for whatever reason, people don't like sports being made fun of.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
But his Norm Macdonald sports show,
It was really funny.
and there's a joke on there that I still talk about to this day. There's a golfer named Charles Schwartzel. Okay, and he won the Masters. And Norm Macdonald goes, this weekend, my Norm Macdonald's terrible, but golfer Charles Schwartzel won the Masters. And no more excited and confused than Charles Schwartzel. Just it's such a throwaway joke, but it's amazing.
I've always loved Norm. I think he's still my favorite update host. I think he's hilarious. I loved his old sitcom in the 90s, Norm. Dirty Work is criminally underrated. And I'm always excited that he's doing so. I'm always excited when someone can convince him to put on pants and go out and do something.
Yes.
Because he's the kind of person that I think he's probably one of the laziest people ever in one of the hardest working, grinding careers that you need as a comic to go up and do work and do new work all the time.
And when you ask comedians who their favorite SNL person of all time, most of them say Norm.
Yeah, because he's just freaking hilarious.
Genius, yeah.
And so I'm thrilled that he's doing a show.
And him crying on Letterman when Letterman packed it up. That was one of the most emotional moments.
That broke me apart.
Yeah, me too. Okay, let's do. It's basically pick of the week.
Yeah.
So we're gonna mold the pick of the week into sifting through the streaming landscape. What's worth your time? A segment here on Collider TV Talk. We'll end with this. I saw this show, Paradise PD. Popped up on there on my Netflix.
I saw that billboard on my phone as well.
It's a half-hour animated show. Now, this will lead me into some recommendations as far as sifting through the streaming landscape in the animated world. This show, I watched the pilot, and it's from the creators of Brickleberry. It is one of the most offensive shows I've ever seen. And I just watched the pilot, and I got to tell you, I laughed so much. And I will keep watching this show because I got such a kick out of it. All along in this genre is BoJack Horseman, which I think is maybe one of the most genius shows. Season 5 is coming out in 2 weeks or a week. And F is for Family, the Bill Burr show, that's animated as well. Those three shows, to me, at least on Netflix, I can't put Rick and Morty in there because it's not really on a streaming site. Those three shows you can't go wrong as far as animated shows go on Netflix. I haven't watched past the pilot of Disenchantment, and I wasn't too impressed by it. But those three shows, I I mean, Paradise PD. I've only watched one episode, but F is for Family and BoJack Horseman.
That's the F is for Family. That's the Bill Burr one, right?
Yeah, Bill Burr. Yeah, fantastic. If I'm searching through Netflix and I see certain shows, because I look at pretty much everything as far as a breakdown goes.
Yeah.
I tried to watch this show Tin Star on Amazon with
I saw someone hitting us up on that on
Tim Roth?
on the Twitter machine.
Tim Roth.
Yeah, Tim Roth.
Tim Roth.
Yeah.
Christina Hendricks.
Okay.
Genevieve something. She plays Mon Mothma in Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
She was also Lapidus's wife in episodes. She played the blind wife in episodes of Merc Lapidus.
Merc Lapidus.
It's about this. It's about like organized crime in Canada. I don't know. I couldn't really get through it, so that's probably a no for me.
Yeah.
But I have basically stumbled upon 20 to 30 shows on the streaming sites that I would recommend. But there are ones that I just can't recommend high enough. So if you haven't seen shows like Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, drop everything and go to watch those shows. Shows like Ozark, go and watch those shows. You can stop watching certain streaming shows and to get to those shows because a lot of the shows you've seen before. There's a lot of British stuff on there that you can get around. I mean, what do you think?
I mean, yeah, I think that there's just so much on Netflix, and like I was saying earlier with this Designated Survivor news, they're acquiring a lot of stuff from other countries. There's a lot of Canadian television on there, British television, Australian television, and it pops up and it's like, oh, Netflix original. What is this? I'm going to watch this, and then you start watching it and you're like, doesn't really have the same quality level that an Ozark or a House of Cards, or even a Marvel's Luke Cage or whatever, like they would have, because they're just acquiring so much so that they can fill up the library and always have something new for you to check out.
Yeah, and the shows like Broadchurch I can recommend. That are streaming, but those weren't even streaming originally. Those we pulled from England. We say they're Netflix originals here, but we know where they. Happy Valley, another show that I really really loved.
What was the one with Gillian Anderson and
The Killing?
Christian Grey? Excuse me.
Not The Killing.
Not The Killing. The Fall.
The Fall. Fantastic.
Well, until the last season.
Yeah.
Last season.
But a great first season.
It's a great first season. Second season was okay.
Yeah.
Third season, just don't even bother.
Right.
First season's really good. It's like 6 episodes.
If you are bored and you want to check out, Amazon Prime has basically all the HBO shows.
Yeah.
I think maybe next week, what could be a lot of fun, is we look at the entire HBO library and tell people yes or no. Simple.
I love it. I love that.
All right, so you guys can look forward to that next weekend because the HBO Go has everything on it.
Yes, and also one thing I'm noticing right now on my Netflix is in advance for the new fall season coming back. If you haven't watched The Good Place yet, it's on Netflix right now. And I think season 2 just got added. I highly recommend. That show is hilarious.
Really well done.
It's my favorite network comedy right now.
Really?
And so you can catch up on the whole thing before season 3 starts, which I assume is happening this fall.
Always Sunnies are up there now.
Yep.
FX is finally starting to let some of their library out to the Netflixes of the world.
Well, they're like, we don't even own this stuff really, so go ahead. Disney's bought it all.
By all means.
You can have it.
But again, if you guys want to ask us some questions, hashtag Collider TV Talk. There was a guy, he just sent it in. This is a Twitter question we got before the show went on.
Yeah,
we're pushing up against time here, just because we've been on for a while now. Thadd and I, if we can do one thing, it's talk. He sent us this question. Come on, computer, don't get
and drive
jerk,
vans.
right?
Here's one.
Go ahead.
Here's one that it's a question about. Am I the only one who thinks this is Augustin Perez?
Okay.
Or Perez Augustin. Apologies. Am I the only one who thinks that the song "To Build a Home" is overused in TV? I've listened recently in The Innocents, and it didn't have the same impact as "This Is Us." I love the song, but it's everywhere. There's a thing with I Googled it and listened to the song. So thank you for your question. I think that there's some shows that have very interesting and unique music supervisors that pull stuff you've never heard of, or old library content that you
Sopranos
forget.
was amazing.
Sopranos was incredible. Breaking Bad was incredible.
Yeah.
Homicide: Life on the Street in the 90s was started the whole craze with the music supervisors because they were finding it was one of the first shows that found that teamed up with like an A&R guy to get like stuff that no one had ever heard of before. And so they were playing music. Now that's like a big thing on the Grey's Anatomies of the world, like the doctor shows and the lawyer shows where there's like the sad montage at the end and it's played like it's the Fray song. Right. Remember when the Fray blew up because
How to Save a Life.
Yeah, it was on that. It was on that episode of Grey's Anatomy. Yep. And so I think this is one of those songs that's just like someone picked it up and it's gotten on the email chains with the music supervisors and they snuck it in. So if you're watching a show and the music all feels very stale, it's probably because either their budget's not that big,
that's tough
or their music supervisor is just going for the easiest thing to find. Yeah. And because music rights are expensive.
Very expensive.
They're hard to do.
What's cool about some really good music supervisors, if they are music fans, then they know where to look and to find some of these playlists and to reach out to some of these bands that may have not blown up yet or are big on Spotify or something, pull it and make it. Yeah. Because I think there's a lot of awesome indie music out there that we just haven't heard.
Yeah. And television has, like we were talking about, for the last 20 years or so, they've brought things into these shows that have then become huge. I mean, 100%. Glow is doing music cues wonderfully right now. I was talking about this over the weekend. Like, I can't hear what's the song in the finale. It's a
finale of Glow.
The second. It's the empowerment song. I'm blanking on it, but hit me up with that. This is really good radio, guys.
Way to go. Way to go.
Yeah.
Way to go.
But Glow every
they have
episode.
Done music really well.
Every episode.
For sure.
They're really
okay. So
they're
working
on some great stuff.
I found this question. It's from Matt Galbraith at KC Chief 2006. Hashtag Clouder TV Talk. With Netflix being so out in front of original programming, do you think solid shows on Amazon Hulu get less buzz because people just talk Netflix? Seems like no one watches Mrs. Maisel, Catastrophe, etc. Can they ever catch Netflix?
I screenshotted that same question.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, well done.
Yeah. Good question. You got both of our eyes into that. Nothing's going to stop us now. Not the theme song from Perfect Strangers, but the others, the actual song by Starship. Yes. Yeah. They use it really well in the finale.
This world is gonna hold you. Yes.
Yeah.
But that's our question. It's Netflix is the Death Star. They are eating up planets. They are taking things. But Amazon, it's not like they don't have a budget. Amazon has a budget. So I don't know if it's because my parents can't figure out the Amazon Prime or
my parents did figure it out and now they're obsessed. Like I call them up and they're like, yeah, we're watching another thing on Amazon. Yeah. So
shows like Fortitude on Amazon. Yeah. Shows like Catastrophe, which I love. The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, which was by far my favorite show of last year. Though there's just some, I don't know if it's Amazon's promo or if it's Amazon's lack of the extensive library that doesn't drive the people. I don't know.
I mean, I think that
Hulu is
Hulu's a different animal. I think with Netflix versus Amazon is Netflix came on the scene with House of Cards, and no one knew if it was going to work or wasn't going to work.
It was Redbox.
Yeah. But they did it. It blew up. It got awards love in the first year, and everyone was talking about it because it was the only one. And then ever since then, much like HBO's programming with The Sopranos, once they had that one breakout hit, then every time they put something else out, they're like, what's Netflix doing next? Right. What's Netflix up to now? Amazon, it took them a little bit. They stumbled out of the gate a bit. They're now refocusing their efforts with the Lord of the Rings show, with Jack Ryan. They're going for big, large budget, large production value, really
IP big star,
really big, big Game of Thrones type programming.
Yes,
and I think that they're trying to regain their footing.
Yeah,
I think they're going to do really good this year with Mrs. Maisel at the awards.
I agree.
But they've done really well at the awards every year. Transparent was a huge hit out of the box. I think that even that weird show that no one really watched with Gal Garcia Bernal.
Oh, Mozart in the Jungle.
Mozart in the Jungle.
I watched the first season.
Yeah. It wasn't my cup of tea, but they like
My
that
mother-in-law lives for it.
they like that got awards love at like the Golden Globes and stuff, and their original focus I was reading was they were there to get awards. That's what their production team wanted. They're like, we're going to be the way we can beat Netflix is if we win the awards. Because Netflix didn't win a lot. Like they get the big splashy stuff, but like Stranger Things hasn't won.
No,
House of Cards didn't really win that much.
Right.
Like. They haven't. Orange is the New Black won a couple of acting awards the first season and comedy stuff, but like they haven't had a massive. They haven't. It's not like HBO. HBO wins like 120 awards every year. Or whatever.
They don't. Amazon doesn't have their golden goose just yet.
Yeah, and so they're banking on that Lord of the Rings show.
Yeah.
But I think that it'll be very interesting to see. Because, they're spending they're spending a ton of money on Maisel right now. I see Maisel billboards everywhere.
Good.
I see online ads. I see television commercials. Like they're pushing it really hard going into the award season and then season 2. So I think that that's part of that new focus and the new strategy where they're trying really hard. Hulu.
The Hulu original stuff has kind of swung and missed to a certain extent because, I mean, I like Marvel's Runaways, but they're not winning any awards. I think the path they thought was going to be much bigger. I mean, the cast with Aaron Paul and Michelle Monaghan, I mean, that's a huge cast. I just don't think it hit where they wanted it to hit.
Hand of God?
I mean, listen, Hulu.
I watched all the first season of Hand of God.
We're missing the huge one in Handmaid's Tale.
Hand of God was Amazon. Go ahead.
Hand of God was Amazon, but Handmaid's Tale on Hulu. There you go. That's their swan song at this point. I mean, but I shouldn't say swan song because that's the last one. That's what sends you out.
But that's their golden goose. Yeah, but is that getting more people to subscribe to Hulu? Or more people looking at Hulu's originals to be like, well, they did Handmaid's Tale. What's their next show?
Right.
And it's like, well, their next show is
it's a huge disparity.
Future Man, from Seth Rogen. It's like that's not.
I like
the
Future
same.
Man.
I've heard it's really good.
Yeah.
But like it's apples and oranges.
No, I'm with you on that one. There is something about Handmaid's Tale that makes you not want to stay on Hulu. It's like, okay, I watched it. I can't stay here much longer.
Oh, God, yeah.
Give me something fresh. And I don't know if Hulu, the next up on the Netflix thing, if it's like, hey, you're done with this episode of Hulu, maybe check out this related to Handmaid's Tale. I can't watch another Handmaid's Tale. I'm already depressed.
Yeah.
So I think that they do have their golden goose, but I don't know if it's the kind of golden goose that makes you just want to stick around Hulu. That's it, because it leaves you with such a sickening feeling in your stomach.
No, it's a fair point.
I don't know, but that's a long-winded answer to a very good Twitter question.
Yeah.
That's going to be it for us here on Collider TV Talk.
Yeah, we're way over time.
Way over time, but Thad and I like to talk. We are now official members, founding members of Van Crow, the Sons of Vanarchy.
Sorry that we're not on motorcycles. That's just it's backfiring a little bit.
Gotcha. Tailpipe.
Yeah,
we gotta get it checked out.
I need to take it into the shop.
Gotta take it to the dealer, Thad. At Thad Williams on Twitter, Instagram.
At Josh McCouga on Instagram and Twitter. Hashtag Josh McCouga for Jeopardy.
Yeah, tag Jeopardy at Jeopardy. Hashtag at Josh McCouga for Jeopardy. Amazing time last week when I got to meet Oxtrabeck and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty cool.
And Jeopardy premieres Monday.
It does, season 35. I'm going to start doing some just some standalone videos on my Instagram and Twitter. You guys can check those out there. We're here. Subscribe to Collider Podcast. That's where the videos will be. Subscribe to the Collider TV Talk Apple feed. Give us 5 stars. Rate everything. Tell your friends about it. If you have any questions, always hashtag it. At Thad Williams, at Josh McCouga. We'll see you guys next time. As always, put down the book. Pick up the remote.